Hi, Cutie Pies. It is Lanickia, and I am coming to you with another episode, recap and review of General Hospital. This is season 59, episode 116. And listen, it was all, I'm not going to go least, I normally go least interested on me to most interested. But I mean, honestly, it was all kind of even till to me today. It didn't feel like a filler episode because it was a lot of information that came out that we're going to need, but it does feel like they're leading us up to their next big moment, which I think is going to involve really the Elizabeth storyline. Okay, so I'm just going to get certain people out of the way. And one is Sean. So we see Sean run into Harmony, and because I believe this is one, if not his last episode, one of his last episodes on the show, because, oh, he's coming to my show, y'all, hopefully, with the Equalizer. And he has another series that's supposed to be coming out, as well as a movie. So he didn't last on the show long this time, but he did confirm that he is leaving, but General Hospital, as of this video, has not spoken out about it. But so Sean is on the episode, and he bumps into Harmony, and now I didn't like I hate soaps because of this reason. Like, she was trying to leave and he blocks her way, and I'm like, why are you blocking her? I don't know. I didn't like that for some reason. But she was trying to leave and he blocked her, and he was just telling her pretty much that Elizabeth Alexa has a lot of people that care for her. She's not um confined into an area. Alexa, stop. Anyway, she's not confined to an area where you're the only person like that matches her intellect and yada yada yada, all that. Really, he's just warning her, and she's like, wanting her to, stay out of trouble, to keep Alexa out of her trouble. Alexa, stop. So then we see that once he and Harmony get done, he meets with TJ, and he lets TJ know that he's leaving town again. It's a business venture, and he's proud of him. The doctor, TJ come in and talk about his patient or whatever. And so that's pretty much it with Sean. He's leaving. He asked TJ to watch out for Harmony, he and Molly, and he said yes, we'll do that. And that was pretty much it with Sean today on the episode. Okay, so Alexa and Diana are talking, and her whole thing is Diane. Alexa, stop. Her whole thing is she doesn't want Alexis. I'm just gonna to feel to get caught up in whatever Harmony has going on, and she wants her to be, not to be used or manipulated. And she's just like, I'm good. Like, no one's manipulating me. No one's doing, like, I'm cool. This is like, we're good. And as they're talking, Harmony comes in, and Diane leaves, and so then Alexis asks Harmony, how did her daughter Willow take being told that you're not her biological mother? And she was like, I couldn't do it. They're just not letting me see the baby. I just could not do it. And Alexis is like, girl, you have to tell her what's going on, because this ends badly. She's going to find out either way. This ends badly. And then she lets her know about the running into Bucky and getting the forged certificate. And Alexis is just like, all right, I mean, I can't tell you what to do, but I don't want no parts of this. But I'm gonna be your friend, and I'm gonna be there for you. But I wouldn't recommend doing this way. But she is, because I mean, what else would she do? Like, it wouldn't be Harmony. So she's gonna do it that way. So then we see okay, so then here comes Finn and Chase. I'm gonna wrap this up right quick. So then we talk to Finn and Chase, and they are talking about Brooklyn. And he says that she left, and she ran away after they kissed. And Finn was just like, listen, Chase, don't get so self-involved that you think it's about you. He was like, Brooklyn's been through a lot, and she went to go visit her mom. and she needs that support right now. Ned is good, you're great, but she's really close to her mom, so she just wanted, to be with her. So don't make it all about you. But anyways, he says you need to figure out what your feelings are for her and go, just go after her and let her know how you feel and everything. So that's it with them. And then, before they end, they talk about Elizabeth, and he says there's something going on with Elizabeth, and Chase was like, I'm gonna help whichever way I can or whatever. So that was pretty much their storyline, y'all. So then we see, oh girl. So then we see, I'm gonna go with, no, I'm gonna leave her for last because that was an interesting little storyline. So then, y'all, we're gonna go to Brooklyn, not Brooklyn, but Carly and Sonny. So Carly and Drew end up at Sonny's house. Nina's like, I'm about to go, and Sonny was like, no, you don't have to go. And Nina was like, listen, I was about to leave anyways. She don't want no problems. So she was gonna go ahead and leave, and so Sonny invites Carly and Drew in, and they tell him about Peter, and he was like, all right, thanks for telling me, but Dante's been by, or whatever. And then he asked Drew, like, what you doing here? And Drew was like, well, since I'm the person, I thought you might have questions or whatever. He said, no, like, he cool. Y'all, I don't like Drew. I'm just gonna say it. And it has nothing to do with Drew. Um, anyways, so he says, no, I'm cool. And so he looking at them like, y'all can leave. And then so Drew was like, okay, Carly, so you said what you had to say. I could give you a ride back. And Carly was like, no, I'm not staying. I know y'all like Carly, but I don't like her too. I like her, but I don't like her. Because to me, like, anyways, so she was like, no, I want to stay. Well, like, I don't even know why you came over there with Drew, because you knew you wanted to stay and be with Sonny anyways. So she stayed, and she and Sonny went to talking, and she was just like, I don't want the Donna around Nina because it's already confusing enough. And he was like, come on, Carly. And so then they went to talking about how she wanted to bring the baby Donna over to spend the night with Sonny, and he was like, no, because he thought about what Nina was saying about his meds and everything. And so he was like, you know what? I went off my meds, and I'm just getting back on them. It's just getting in my system, and I want to see her, but I don't think it's right now. She shouldn't spend the night. And Carly was like, thank you for telling me this. And then she had a flashback of when Nina was trying to tell her, Sonny needs you, excuse me. But Carly gets all upset. Nina knew you were off your meds, didn't she? And he was like, yes. And and she was like, oh, she tried. It was her relieving her guilt, saying, so she should have just told me. Nina should have just told me you were off your meds, but she just beat around the bush if she had just told me. And he was like, Carly, I didn't want anybody to know. And she was like, why wouldn't you want to tell me or whatever? And he was like, because I wanted you to be with me because you wanted to be with me, not out of obligation. And Carly was like, oh, I see how far we've grown. You didn't even trust me with that. I'm like, girl, I can't. Like, I'm so glad Carly and Sonny are not together. I know, I can't do it. And I know they're going to be back together by Christmas this year. This year, yes. They'll be talking about, oh, we made it. Look what we fought it. We fought through, and they'll be back together. They'll be back together. Anyways, they just agree that they're just gonna be great co-parents. That's pretty much what this boils down. They're gonna be great co-parents. And she leaves, and he signs the divorce papers, and she's outside the door, and she signs the divorce papers, and it is what it is. But they're gonna be back together. They're getting a divorce, but they're gonna be back together before this before this year is over with. It is what it is. So then we go to Nina and Drew. So Nina and Drew have met each other. She goes to Charlie's, and she sees Drew come in. Now Nina off bat think he's coming in to like rip into her. And so she starts going off on Drew a little bit. And he said, I just came to get something to eat. And she was like, oh, my bad. Or whatever. And he said, I wanted to thank you. For what you did for Maxie and everything. And she was like, yes, I thought you were coming here to rip into me about, all the Carly bad mouthing me and all that. He was like, I won't discuss Carly with you. And then she's like, okay. And then he proceeds to discuss Carly with her by telling Nina, you did this, and like you lied, and all this started because of you, because you lied about who Sonny was, and you're not innocent in the. And I don't know. I don't particularly care for Drew, and I know, like y'all be liking Drew or whatever, but I don't know. I'm like, that's real self righteous of you, because you were really going to try to get back with Sam, even though you said, I'm not going to poach. You were going to try to get back with Sam, but she came and told you that she was in love with Dante. Well, she told Nina she was in love with Dante. And that's what stopped you there. You were going to get with Carly because y'all kissed or whatever, but Carly stopped you there. I'm like, sir, like you're not, I mean, you didn't go as far as Nina, but you're not like that much better or whatever. But I mean, y'all be liking them and everything, so it is what it is. Now, Nina was wrong trying to throw that little remark in about Carly. I will admit that, because you know I like Nina, but she was wrong for that. I could be objective, but I don't know. It's Cameron. I didn't really like his character on My Children, because it's like he plays the same character to me, and maybe that's what it is, because on All My Children he was the same way, like defending all with, you know, when he was with Greenlee and all that. Y'all remember? And I just like, I don't know. It's just something about that I don't like. I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, you could have just said, I'm not going to discuss Carly, and went on about your business. But Nina got back with him. She was like, mighty self-righteous of you and everything. And she got back with him, and she told him, listen, I don't care what you, Carly, or anybody else thinks about me. And Sonny and I are not together. And he was like, does Sonny know that? Nina has made it very clear to Sonny why she won't be with him. Because he's off his meds, because he's not 100% clear. She's not going to be with him until he gets clear. And then, you know, that's where it will go. But I'm glad Sonny and Carly are not together, because I can't go on this roller coaster with them anymore. Should he be with Nina? I personally don't want Nina with him, because I think Sonny is like making her into one of those pick-me women, and she's going right along with it. So no, I don't really want him with her, especially knowing that he's going to get back with Carly. I wish they would give her a more steady someone to be with. Well, whatever. Just go ahead and get Drew and Carly together for that, you know, a few season, and then get her back with Sonny, because we all know that's what's going to happen. All right, now this is the best storyline today, and it comes to Elizabeth. So Elizabeth was on the phone, right, and she was leaving a message for Betsy, and then Scott comes up and she asks him, do you think the boys are, you know, feel any type of way because she's, you know, trying to have some kind of relationship with Finn? And he tells her maybe Jake. And she starts telling him everything, you know, about the ring, about the dress, and she starts telling him everything that's going on. And he's like, I don't know. He was like, that seems like real far. He said somebody's doing it, but I don't think it's him or whatever. And then he goes away for some reason. I can't remember why. But Betsy comes up and she was like, Betsy, what you doing here? I just called you. And she's like, I got your message or whatever. She was like, I just called you or whatever. Alexa, stop. Yeah, we have to have reminders around here about everything. Sorry. So then she's so she tells him, so Betsy comes up and she's like, I just talked to you or whatever. I just left a message. And Betsy was like, I've been in town. And I'm like, wait a minute, because I thought Elizabeth had a split personality, but now I'm starting to doubt my split personality. So Betsy was like, I was in town or whatever. And it's like, she's talking about Franco like he's still alive. And I'm like, ma'am. And so Elizabeth is just, so she tells her about, oh yeah, I know about Finn. I saw it on social media and all that. So while they're talking, Scott comes up and he's like, any other child you kidnapped or everything? And Betsy is just like, and I don't have time for this. Bye. And so she leaves. And Scott said, all that weird stuff going around, that's suspect number one right there. Because if it's weird stuff and Betsy is involved, and Betsy is around, it's probably her. And so Elizabeth then goes home and she sees a painting of herself on the wall. And we're going to see her turn around tomorrow, so somebody's going to be there. But y'all, that was General Hospital. It wasn't much to it. I mean, it's just really setting us up for the other stuff that's about to go on in the upcoming season, in the upcoming episodes and everything. And I think Betsy and Elizabeth and all that, that's gonna have a big part to it. Maybe part to it. I'm just looking to make sure I didn't miss anybody. And that's pretty much it. And then Sunny and Carly. That's pretty much it, y'all. It wasn't much this episode at all, but it was still a good episode. Like, other times I'll be like, this is just a filler, but I feel like this was more. It was a little bit more than a filler. It wasn't like oh, let me watch it again, because sometimes I'll be like, oh, I gotta watch that again and catch everything. But this wasn't that. So anyways, I hope y'all enjoy the rest of your night. Have a great start to your week, and I will see you tomorrow with another episode of General Hospital.